it's your friendly neighborhood therapist here, qualifying Jo Dinsdale from Multi Therapy. I thought today I'm feeling a little burnt out, so what better way to end the day with a little art therapy? I got this fun little setup here and I decided to make this little video. Even though I don't have any specific certifications in art therapy, this is just an example for people. So this is not a replacement for any therapy. It's just a little almost what to expect video with some examples. So you guys feel free to join in if you'd like. You can grab a piece of paper and give it a shot yourself. So what exactly is art therapy? Well, it is a form of psychotherapy that uses this creative process of making art to explore emotions, reconcile emotional conflicts, and foster self-awareness. There is a specific certification in Canada, so if you want to find somebody who's specifically trained in that, it is available. And yeah, it can be done by groups or individual sessions, all sorts of different ways art therapy can take place. Yeah, it's a great outlet for complex feelings, especially for people who cannot express their emotions very well verbally. There's always different ways to express yourself, right? So what I'm going to be doing is basically just going through some different examples of art therapy, and we're going to start with the tree of self. So let's get started, guys. I'm going to start with maybe a different marker than this one. Let's start with this brown one here. So how an art therapy session would start would be basically you come in, there'd be an intake. The therapist would gather up a bunch of information about yourself, and then you'd get to it. So typically they would start with whatever kind of matches your goals or whatever. So our first example will be called the tree of self. Now, for example, there could be somebody who's looking to explore their identity. They want to accept the person for who they are, and they want clarity about their identity. So what to do there? We can start by drawing a tree basically to help explain who we are as people. So let's start with the roots, all right? The roots symbolize foundational elements like upbringing, values, and influences. So if I was working with somebody, I'd say, okay, let's draw the roots of your childhood. What do they look like? And it's so interesting to see what people draw it like. So for example, I'm a hypnotist, so you know that it would be very spirally roots of my self tree, of course. And even just thinking about it, you know, I feel like there'd be a lot of different roots, okay? I think my upbringing is pretty, well, not as complex as others, but I'd say relatively complex. And it's interesting because as you draw, it's funny how just random things you can kind of start to understand about yourself, like how much of these roots take up the page, right? I think that's in itself, like maybe consciously I'm not thinking, hi Angus, welcome. Agus? Sorry, Agus. How are you doing? You guys grab some markers and a paper and join in if you'd like. So here we go. These are the roots. Interesting looking thing, almost looks a bit like an octopus. And you could just add in words if you want, or you could leave it like this. So let's say influences. Let's say a big influence of my life is David Tennant, the actor. He's great. So he's right in the middle of my tree. And these are just examples. I'm not taking this too seriously. Lion, you made me lose the game. Very rude. but that's okay. I forgive you. Yeah, let's see what else we can do. Values. A big value that kind of grounds me, aka the root, I would say, is, being a therapist. That's a big part of who I am. I'd say it's part of my identity, therapist. Some people don't have their identity tied into their job, but I'm very passionate about this, so I would say it ties in pretty closely. And what's another thing we can do? Upbringing. I'm Canadian, so that could be a root. Okay. There we go. Now, if we want to move forward, so I'll just write it over here for the people who are just joining in. We're doing the art therapy tree of self. The roots. Oops. There we go. Roots are basically upbringing. It is values. And it is influences. Okay. So next we would discuss this a little bit and then we could go into the trunk of our tree. As you can see, I'm not the biggest artist here, okay, guys? I'm doing the best that I can. Oops. There we go. And the trunk represents core beliefs and strengths of your person. Hi, HD Easy Art School. Maybe we should collaborate, huh? What do you think of my drawing? Is it pretty nice? Oh my gosh. It's really great to see you here. I'll check out your channel if I remember. I'll write your name down in the corner. HD Easy Art School. Shout out to you. Feel free to subscribe, guys. I would love to do more videos like this if you're enjoying it. Okay, so the trunk embodies core beliefs. I'll write it down too. And intrinsic strengths. So for example, one of my strengths, oh, well done, art school. Good for you, I'm getting there. I took a break, I got 4K, but we're getting there. Did you get the plaque with the shiny, sorry, the shiny button? All right, I'm gonna put a little strength. I would say gabbing. I got the gift of the gab, okay? Core strengths. Represented in a nice thick trunk, as you can see. I think I got a lot of strengths. All right, let's do it. You want to collaborate? I don't know how to do that. Can you do it live? That'd be interesting. Add as moderator, put user on timeout. Yeah, sorry, Easy Art. Shoot me an email if you want. It's in my description on the YouTube if you want to do a collab later on. Yeah, strengths. I am good at drawing. Right? Like, let's make this a little more obscure. Like, the little swirly lines in the trees, I've always loved to do. I like to draw them. Even as a kid, I would add in this, like, texture, you know? What do you guys think? Does this look pretty tree-like, hopefully? A little octopus tree. And then we move up to the branches, okay? The branches portray aspirations. Write it over here. Aspirations. And dreams. My dream is to collaborate with HD Easy Art School. Wouldn't that be nice? And my dream is to get 100K subscribers. So let's draw a nice YouTube subscription button here. If you guys want to help me out and subscribe, it would be much appreciated. Welcome to the Jorb Club. That's my silly therapist name. When I'm being a silly therapist, I call myself Jorb. My younger sibling used to call me that. I'll do 3 big branches on this tree because I have 2 other siblings. 3 has always been a good number for me. Alpha Lion, your biggest strength is you're good at watching YouTube. Very good, very good. I love to watch YouTube too. Hey, you love Canada? I love Canada. Canada is a great place to be. Come visit sometime. Average Joe, I should be up to 5K soon. I sure hope so. That would be nice, huh? We're working on it, guys. And I appreciate all the support. I really do. I love hearing from you guys. We're making YouTube's best community, okay? This is the facts. All right, so branches. What are some other dreams of mine? I dream to travel more, so I'm going to draw a little airplane on here. Woohoo! And where would I like to travel to? I want to go to the Philippines. I would love to go to Japan. It's just finding the time, right? It's always hard. Life gets busy, doesn't it? Hi, Tiff. You're new. Welcome. I'm Joe, the therapist from Canada. Where are you from? We're just doing some art therapy here. Just a little example. As you can see, there's a bit of instructions here if you want to join in. The roots represent upbringing. The trunk represents core beliefs and strengths. And the top represents dreams and aspirations. And I mean, aspirations-wise, I definitely want to work out more. So let's make this a really buff tree. We'll give him some muscles here. And he's flexing his branch. Very strong guy. I really want to try out rock climbing more often. That would be really fun. Oh, you're UK? Very nice. Well, welcome. I used to live in England for a year when I was a kid, and my heritage is British. I am English. My mom immigrated here when she was a baby, so I do actually have my British passport, which is lucky for me. All right, and then finally, the leaves of our tree. Wow, my tree's looking pretty wonky here, guys. This is why I'm not specifically an art therapist. There we go. Let's put on a few leaves on here. And the leaves will represent milestones, experiences, and memories. Like something that really changed your life that stood out to you. So I'm going to put down on a leaf. Ooh, geez, a big milestone of mine is meeting my high school girlfriend. So let's put the number 4 there. We're a group of 4, still friends, still super supporting each other. What a great support group. What else is a big milestone of mine? I broke my arm once, so let's do a little break in this big buff arm, okay? There we go. Oopsies. I broke my arm, and I remembered from that time on I'd be very cautious after that. So I think that did influence me in a big way. So yeah, guys, I think I'm done with my tree for now. What do you think? It looks a little Tim Burton-esque, in my opinion. Yeah. Oh, Tiff, you're only 9, huh? Wow. I never know what to say to kids on the YouTube channel. But I hope, I don't know, things are kid-friendly on here for you. You only get to be young once, eh? So hopefully you embrace it. All right, so let's do the next one. Let's talk about societal and personal masks, okay? So a lot of the time people, it's often used as a terminology for people who happen to have autism. Let me just write my title here. Psychotherapy. And this one's called The Mask Behind. And if you guys are joining in, you could draw 2 masks here, okay? So we'll do one up here. Just a simple mask for now. And one down here. Now, what does masking mean per se? Basically, it's the premonition that you are not your true authentic self a lot of the time, especially when we're out in public and we feel like we have to be a certain way due to the people around us. Society does shape our behavior. So by analyzing, okay, which parts are the parts that I put on for other people versus what I'm actually comfortable in doing is really important. So let's call this one our society mask, okay? Society, and this is going to be our authentic self. Right. So, what is the difference between this one and this one? Well, for me personally, I'm going to put on some makeup on this one, the societal one, because I find that often you always have to kind of dress up in society. Let's try a new marker. You have to put on your makeup and get perceived often as a lady. You have to be very beautiful, or you feel pressured to be beautiful all the time, or else there's consequences to not putting in that effort. I think my mask would be very cheerful, right? Like maybe very expressive eyes, big eyes. I think sometimes, we use a little bit of our cuteness, if you're a cute lady, to get our way. You got to use the tools that you can get, I guess, right? There we go. Woo! Hi, Sheba. How are you doing? Just catching up on the chat there. Yeah, feel free to join in, guys. It's a lot of fun, and I don't know, it's super chill. I love to hear if you decide to join in, and I don't know, tell me what your mask ends up looking like. I almost forgot the eyelashes. Of course, we need those, the big fake eyelashes. You know what's funny? I only recently realized, I don't know, I always put on makeup, like just from a young age, you're just taught, okay, if you're going out, put on your makeup. But recently, it's really funny. I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't actually have to do that. It was like a very nice wake-up call for myself, because I was just so used to doing it all the time. And then one day I was just like, I don't want to put on makeup right now. I really don't. Guess what? I didn't. The world did not end. So that was nice. It's funny how you just don't realize how ingrained these beliefs are. And if you're new joining in, guys, we're just doing a little art therapy example. I'm not a certified art therapist. I'm just a qualifying psychotherapist who is just giving you examples if you're interested in trying it out yourself. This is some of the examples that they would use. Okay, so that's my societal mask. Pretty straightforward, I would say. It's very simple and plain, and I don't know, you put on your makeup as kind of like your little warrior paint. And like, who's the person underneath that mask? Okay, this one's always a little bit more tricky, right? Because you have to really dive down deep. And who am I really? I think, if we're just using an example, I would be maybe a little sunshine. Because, I do. I love to have fun. I love to help other people. I like making people happy. But then I'd also say there's like a little dark cloud in the corner here, which is just all my doubts and insecurities and all that fun stuff. Come on, cloud, get in there. Man, a lot of these markers dried out. There's nothing that annoys me more than a dried out marker. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. Ah! Yeah, it's very ironic that the cloud, the dark cloud, is giving me grief. Of course it is, right? Why wouldn't it? Oh, there we go. Perfect. Yeah, the little dark cloud in the corner. You see, I feel like some days the cloud gets a bit more in your face, like right up in there. But on other days, it kind of drifts out into the corner and hangs out. If you're lucky, it completely disappears. And I'll give it a little bit of an eyeball in the middle. This eyeball representing my curiosity. I'm always curious about people. I want to know more about people. I'm always curious about psychotherapy and learning more about that. What are you guys curious about? I'd love to hear. What really sparks your interest? Is it YouTube videos? What do you use YouTube videos for? I find they can give a lot to you, you know, like the educational, or just sometimes you want to turn your brain off and watch something like this, which is great. And then I will also give my mask here maybe. Oh my gosh, these markers are gonna drive me nuts. This is a pet peeve, guys. I don't know why markers not having juice really annoys the crap out of me. I'll do a little mouth here, a nice lilac color, because I definitely use my voice a lot when it comes to my videos. Oh, hi Davis, how are you doing? Welcome. You're curious about your own potential? That's great. What are you thinking about when it comes to that? What, the marker? Maybe. All right, guys. So this is my end results. What do you think? What would your mask look like? Feel free to leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear if you gave this a shot. So that's 2 of them. We did the tree of self. We did the mask behind. Very dramatic one. As a theater kid myself, I do love the mask one. It's a very fun one. Now, let's see. Which other one do I want to talk about today? Ooh, this is a good one. The armor of strength. This is one I actually use in some of my sessions, either just talking about it or explaining it just verbally. And it's called the armor of strength. It's just right on the top here. Art therapy. Wow, Davis. That's so exciting. An artist and a creative writer. Well, I wonder what steps you've taken so far to do that. Is it still in the contemplation stage, or are you really working towards that goal? Okay, this might actually be good for you, Davis, because sometimes when you follow your dreams, often a lot of people are hesitant to because of the risk, right? There is always a little bit of risk when it comes to really pursuing something that you care about, because you could fail potentially. But guess what? Life is all about calculated risks, right? So let's make our shield that will help protect us in this journey of potential and self-discovery. So for me, let's talk about what shields are, right? They protect people. They're used when people attack you, throw things your way, you block them out. And when we make our own shield, what you want to do is to write things on it or draw things on it that shows what makes you strong. So we're focusing on strengths. And also just the good things that you've done. And any supports that you have too. This is kind of finding the positivity in your life, growing confidence. Okay, so again, this can be quite abstract. Davis, you said you've had tutoring from another YouTuber, but the further is school campus work. Okay, very nice. So you're starting your own YouTube channel. I'll definitely give you a follow, Davis. I'm going to write it down. I've been writing down, people. If you guys want to give me your YouTubes, I'll subscribe. Sub for sub, baby. 376. Okay, I got you. All right, guys. So let's continue with our shield. So I've been really into Game of Thrones. Oh my gosh, I binge watched all of it. I binge watched House of Dragon. So on my shield, I'm going to put a dragon down, and this is going to represent for me personally my resilience, all right? Dang. A lot of things go south in my life, but guess what? I have always been able to push through no matter what crazy old life throws my way, which is great. Sometimes not very gracefully, of course, but we move, as they say, we move. All right, my big dragon head. I had such a fascination with dragons. Oh gosh, please don't butcher this dragon. Okay, cute. It's looking a bit cartoonish, but that's okay. Yeah, my parents are very much like, don't buy things that are trendy. Like, they wouldn't buy us many Pokemon cards or anything. And I had this really deep fascination with dragons, and they're like, no, we're not buying you dragons. You're not gonna care about dragons in a few years. I don't know why they were like that. I guess it's good not to be too materialistic, but dang. I really wanted a few dragon themed things in my room, which never happened. So who knows, guys? There's something about making your childhood dreams come true as an adult. So maybe I just might buy something dragon themed for my office. What do you think? Hey Mia, how are you doing? We're just trying out some art therapy here. If you want to join in, feel free. Whoa, his wing is down by his butt. Whoops. Okay. That's all right. Happy little accidents, as Bob Ross says. I don't know much about Bob Ross, but I know he says that. Here we go. Let's give him a yellow eye. There we go. And my resilient dragon, I'm gonna give him some angry eyeballs, because he's like, stop messing with my girl, okay? Stop messing with her, please. She's just trying to live. There we go. You guys ever have the people in your life where you're just like, please leave me alone, I'm just trying to chill? I've had those a few times. It's like, why is it gotta be like this? Let's just be friends. It don't gotta be like this. And the spikes, yeah, represent that part of me that just keeps moving forward. Hi, Dovahkiin. Dovahkiin. Oh, Dovahkiin. Is that from a show? I feel like that's names from a show, possibly. But I can't think of which one. All right, so there's my dragon. He represents my resilient of strength. Confidence-wise, maybe we can add a little fire in there. To represent, I mean, confidence is such a funny thing, right, guys? It kind of ebbs and flows depending on how you're doing. But something that I've learned as a therapist is that you don't want your confidence to be based on what other people say, okay? Because people are always going to be changing their minds or leading you this way or the other way, you know? Like, you got to have that confidence in yourself and not rely so much on what other people say. Because it's giving people so much power, right? Too much power, even, to let them run your life like that. Makes big old flame in the middle. Woo! I love drawing fire. Hi, Abdel. How are you doing? Rainbow flag, rainbow flag. Would that be on your shield? We're talking armor of strength. So, you know, if I visualize this when somebody's, you know, being kind of rude, or I have to do something big in my life, for example, I'm signing up for a new gym soon, and I feel a bit nervous, you know, I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? Oh, what if they judge me? But it's like, you know what? It's not that serious. I just gotta go in there with my head held high. I don't know why, well, you know, going to the gym is intimidating, okay? Especially if you haven't gone for a long time. And it's a new gym. I don't know. It's a little intimidating. I'm sure you guys get it. But you just gotta fake it till you make it, I think. Just really push through, and you know that you're there for a reason, and if anybody's got a problem with that, you knock them out with your shield. Hi, Ed. How are you doing? What makes me creepy? I don't think I'm too creepy, am I? All right. So that is the last one, guys. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. We covered 3 different art therapy techniques. We got the armor of strength, which covers good supports, confidence, and strengths. We have the art therapy one. The mask behind, where we compared our mask of society and our authentic self. Oh, thank you, Suke. I appreciate that. And then, of course, we got this monstrosity, the tree of self, which kind of explores the roots of your life, you know, your upbringing, values, role models. Then we move up to the trunk, which was core beliefs and strengths. And then we get to the top of the tree of self, which is all about your aspirations and dreams. And the leaves. Oh, it's the mirror that made me look creepy. Oh dear. Sorry, guys. I was just trying to be creative. Yeah, and then the milestones are the leaves, so just memories and stuff. So yeah, there you have it. Feel free to give it a try if you'd like. It is the Whomping Willow. Oh my gosh. I thought it looked like an octopus, like a octopus alien. But yeah, the Whomping Willow, very much so. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. If you like it, feel free to subscribe. Yeah, that cracked me up. Bloody Mary. Yeah, don't say my name 3 times, okay, or I'll get summoned. Yes, like, subscribe, and I'll do another one of these soon. This was fun. I enjoyed it. Chill vibes only. Peace.